Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to Lawn Mowing Simulator. You can see we're here on Thursday, March 11th, 2021. So I've got 4 days in my upgrade cycle on my headquarters, so probably going to be a few episodes before we get there. So we continue to have the challenge that I need an eco mower to do these type of jobs. So at this point it looks like all I've got are 4 contracts, and it's just a matter of doing litter and so forth. So I'm gonna pick one of these, I guess, and we'll get that done. Well, if I ever have to mow this lawn, this one's definitely kind of complex. There's a lot of those play areas and so forth. Could be challenging. Alright, we've got 13 to pick up. I'll get these done. Okay, so simple 54, 62 pounds that we got there. Alright, so it looks like we've got the old Nook cottage, and then I also could do the T-Rex paddock again, but I've already done that recently. I mean, it is a lot of money and value, but I'm just not sure that it's worth it. But after looking at the 2 jobs, I think this still makes the most sense. It's going to help me progress the fastest. I need to get up to the point where I can get myself an eco mower. And I'm going to need a second mower, and those eco mowers are pretty expensive, so I think we're going to get to the upgrade before we can afford a decent sized eco mower. I don't want to really skimp on things too much. The other piece is, obviously, when I did this last time, I had problems because I just didn't understand the blade, but now I'm going in with a freshly repaired blade. So yeah, I need about 4,400 to be able to get the base eco mower. There's really only 3 eco mowers available, and they go up to like 8,000. You know, the challenge too, the eco contracts that are there right now don't require a mulcher or a collector, so I think I'm okay because most of them are side discharge. The most expensive one is the only one that has mulching. So there's just a lot of unknowns as we go through this. But because I spent a pretty long episode showing the dino paddock before, I don't know that I'm not going to show much because another 30 minutes of this is going to be a long time. I think I'm going to get this one done, mainly off camera, knowing that, hey, I'm not going to make any mistakes with the blade, and so I should be fine. But I just don't want to deal with another long cut right now. I may come back and do that one next, but for now, I want to make some progress and maybe get another rank up and then unlock some other areas is the most important thing, I think, right now. So getting done here, you can see, took just a little over an hour, but I had taken like 100 minutes last time and then not gotten done. Like, I don't think I even got to this high of a percentage. So there's probably some trimming left to do, stuff like that we'll have to take a look at. But you know, just wanted to at least get you here toward the tail end, and then I'll probably find the other job we could have done. I'm sure it'll still be there tomorrow. Would give us, I think, 20 minutes. But that would be a good amount of episode addition. So let's see. I need 1.3. I don't know. I'm just half tempted. I think I go and get the trimmer at this point, because I think otherwise I'm going to run the risk of running into the plants and things. So I've had a couple places where I damaged the ground, so we'll see that at the end when we go ahead and see our score, because we're going to see that. But I haven't hit any plants that I know of. I think I may have bumped a couple things, so I might have like 2 collisions, but I'm hoping there isn't more than that. You know, my only concern here, however, is it still is 1.3%, which was not great. You know, like it says press Q to lower and raise the cutting deck, but that doesn't make any sense. See, but there's like little pieces here and there, but like I think this whole edge was not done because I took a wide turn here. But even with that, I think that's going to be, you know, see, it wasn't even 1%, or 0.1%, I mean. So there's a little bit here. So this is what concerns me, is, like, I know there were a couple big ones there, but beyond that, there weren't that many. It's almost like, did I forget a big spot? I don't know. And again, I think I only need to get to 99, so I mean, that's the difference too. I don't think I have to get to like 99.5. So there is certainly a possibility here that there's some bigger areas. There's definitely a bunch here. And I am surprised that big part didn't get me a 99.9 or 98.9. Alright, now we have a 0.9, so we're getting there. But like I said, I think we get another 1/10 and we'll be good. So this should be, I'm confused why these aren't cutting here. Because yeah, there's large sections over here. Yeah, those aren't really blowing. Now I'm going to be concerned if I, so maybe I do need to get 99.5. Well, that'll be a lot. Alright, let me keep going until it gives it to me. So I will see you in a bit. Alright, we did make it. It's a little... Wow, that's a loud sound for the recharging. Refuel this. And then we need to get this back up on the our position here. So let's do that. Whoops. So let's leave. Alright, and yes, so we could have gotten 760. So you can see there were some collisions and some ground damage. And obviously we had some vehicle maintenance that we did here. So if we take that out, we'd be at 795. So, you know, we did pretty well. You know, the ground check bonus and so forth. Blades are obviously worn a bit, but that's all well and good. Alright, so we're at credible rank 4. And we got a couple things done. Oh, it looks like we upgraded because the we made it through the week. So here we go. So weekly profit, we made 1,122 because the upgrades were 1,500. So, but I think we're going to be doing a lot of that. All right. Oh, and we only have 38 to the next rank, so that is great. It's another challenge. Some general cuts in the expansion areas. Crossley Riding School probably is a regular one. Hilltop House also, so good stuff there. Alright, so the HQ is fully upgraded, so all I can do is get 2 slots, which basically then means over time I need to then get these other buildings, which is a bit crazy because I don't understand. Like you can see, it's 160. I mean, it's one thing if I could sell and get the 6,000, but I'm not seeing anything to sell. These advertisements could be interesting too to try, because you know, it looks like we get reputation points per day. So here, this is just a 1-day contract. Yeah, we get 210 reputation points, and it costs us $250 for a day. Here we're 5 days, so we go from 250 a day to 100 a day, and the reputation points per day drop a little bit, but given that we have 5 of them there, we're talking about 700 in total. And then here we'd have over 2,000 reputation points, and you know, it's over $50 per day. So I'd have to calculate that. I think it's like 60, maybe $62 per day. So to me, it seems like this is what we want to do when we want to do it, but we want to get to the mower. And so this is the lowest cost eco mower. Then there's an eco mower here, but you can see now that one goes to $6,600. And then this is the top one at $8,000. Everything else above it is not an eco mower. And it's 106 centimeters capacity to 110, so there's literally no difference. You know, the difference here though is, like, you can see the battery capacity here is 15, where the battery capacity here is 70, so it just may be really irritating because I may have to like keep charging. And then again, this is the one that's a mulcher. Sorry, it bounces around a lot, where the other two are side discharge. Alright, I am going to go ahead and try to take on the Old Nook Cottage here. We've got long grass, but hopefully it won't take too terribly long. Again, it's recommending a much bigger deck width than we have, but we're going to give it a go. So I need to be at 7 to 8 centimeters. Alright, definitely looks pretty good. So when I did the long grass on the Dino Safari, I think that's what it was on. It might have been the Druid tour. Just going slow was the key. So we need 99.5. Let's see. Oh, can't get in. Oh, I see. We got to go this way. So we only have 5 minutes to find 5 objects. That's like a big trough. Yeah, the grass being long, it's definitely going to be more challenging to find stuff. But we'll see what we get. I usually run around the edge first, and then kind of go back in. Oh boy. Well. Alright, so we've got a couple things right here. I can't even tell what these things are. The grass is so deep. So there's one more somewhere. There? No, I thought I saw it. Well, it's only been a minute, so we're still... There we go. Alright. So some rocks or something. Alright, so we'll get a bonus there. I am going to do this a little bit different. Well, let me look again. I think I'm going to grab the string trimmer and try to get some stuff so that I just don't have to get close. So I think I'm going to do that first. And then I'm going to go ahead and, you know, step back. But like stuff like here by the trough, I think it'll be important to kind of get around here. And then I don't have to play the game of getting too terribly close. So, let's see. Is it because it's deep? I don't understand, like, why it's acting the way it is. So the other thing I determined is there's this kind of ProView that lets you do that. That lets you see what you have to cut. So that's how I was able to finish the dino thing. You know, because this is where it gets interesting, because you're going to start to see stuff over here So, so let's see. So like if I do this, see, like all that is still showing up as having to be cut, but I would not have thought that I had anything in there. And again, with the 99.5, it should be okay. But once again, let's get near the tree. And then I don't have to do a whole lot beyond that if I can get all these cut around. And you can partially tell too, because it's like you can see kind of stuff spewing off the blade, or the string, I should say. But the nice thing is, you know, this is pretty straightforward, you know, and we're getting almost 1% of the grass. Again, this is a much smaller field than the Dino Safari was, so I have to be real with that, but I'm hoping this trimming will help. Alright, so I think we're okay here. But as far as collisions and things like that, it should eliminate some of that, because I won't have to get as close. Especially around these corners, if I'm cutting out far enough. And again, I don't know that there's any chance of really getting any kind of bonus. So I'm less worried about the bonus than I am just getting the contract done. I mean, the bonus would be nice. And my hope is I can go quicker because of doing the trimming. But again, quicker is going to be relative. Let's see, like, as close as I have to get here on the building. See, I'm not sure what the red on the trimmer is. Like, I'm not getting any warning, so it's like, is it not cutting far enough, or is it cutting too far? I just don't quite know. Alright, wow. So we've got this. Because again, I gotta be careful, like here, like, I don't know how close I can get to some of these things. Like if I knock those plants out, if I get in trouble. Let me see, does it? Yeah, see, because wow, like how do I... Well, somehow it didn't knock that out, and I'm not getting anything, but if I don't get behind there, I'm just worried it's gonna not work well. Oh! Well, it didn't tell me I took anything out, so maybe those are like weeds of some sort that it's okay to clip away, I don't know. But they do look like they're planted, so just hard. But you can start to see why I wanted to do some of this trimming, because I could kind of see that there's definitely some challenge involved. Let's see, let's back this off. Because there's also stuff over here. There's just a lot here. You know, I'll keep you with for this so you can kind of see what the process is that I'm doing, and it'll give you an idea. Obviously, you know, again, people will kind of jump around as they want to. But hopefully, you know, it's not going to be something that you got to do a ton of. So, we'll again try to get further away from this. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm get to like 5% by the time I get around that I've done with the string trimmer. We'll see how this all goes, but yeah, this is not that big of a yard, but you can start to see just the challenges that exist in kind of getting it done. So, get this cut up. 4.4. Or not quite, we're headed to 4.4. Wow. One would think that, like, this would work, but... Alright, so we've got a couple trees to get around. And hopefully then that'll be it. Alright, let's see. Probably want to get by these bushes again. So if I can avoid having to go through there, that'll make things cleaner. But definitely I'm understanding why I want to get another mower, get a worker, because it's about getting that money and getting to the bigger equipment, because then I can really do something on jobs like this, where otherwise I'm just struggling to try to do anything that is helpful. Alright, well, I'm already at 5%, and I've still got things I need to trim, so gives you an idea. Alright, that should be enough there. And then again, we've got the tree here. I just don't know how close I can get. But the other thing is, like, getting the eco mower gets me the opportunity to, you know, at least do the jobs. You know, I think do most or all of the jobs. Alright, so I think we've... Oh no, I got this tree still. Like, I think we've gotten around everything, but no, we've still got this one. So we'll keep cutting through. So I think we're good. We'll give it a go. But at least, you know, at that point, we've got that taken care of. And yes, that is a very irritating sound. Alright. Oh, I didn't do the blade. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, well, I know what I need to do now. I'm gonna need to pay to change the cutting blades, because I am not going to have a problem. So 50 pounds, that would be easier to do otherwise, but alright, so we're gonna get this done here and head on down. But yeah, I mean, at this point I should be... Oh, I see, you can end a contract early. I'm not looking to do that. So let's see, that's usually the view I put it on, so we'll try that. And we will get going. Alright, so if I... Ah, shoot. Alright, I want to try to be able to move at cruise control speed. But yeah, I'm going to try 2 miles an hour. We're going to see if that works. That may still be too fast. Hopefully not. But yeah, I'm doing it at 7. In theory, I could do it at 8, but I don't know that that 1 centimeter is going to matter. I kind of got lucky. I should have checked a little bit more. I didn't cut this area, so that was not bad on me. I didn't trim that. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I think I was bumping things, but they're hedges, for goodness sakes, so I would hope that that's okay. Yeah, I think I ran down this side a bit, but right now it doesn't appear to be giving me any difficulty. But yeah, that ProView is a lifesaver, and that is what allowed me to finish the dinosaurs, where otherwise I don't know that I could have done it. Because if you're trying to eyeball it, like, there were things I swore I had cut, like I had trimmed along everything, and I looked back that way, and there were just huge areas that still needed to be dealt with. Oh, I need to come over further, so I'm gonna have to try to remember. So you've got a road out there. Obviously, we were hearing the cars, but we weren't seeing them. So yeah, what would be nice to see with this game is something that allowed people to create their own lawns, basically. Whether it's a feature that lets us do it, or let modders create them some way, because that would almost kind of open it up and make the game almost virtually unlimited, because people could just start throwing in different landscapes and different things. You know, if they just gave us like a certain type of yard or something that we were able to work with. Alright, I'll come back and worry about that later. You know, I get the challenges like the scenery around, the cars and this and that. You know, but so it might be more of a, hey, here's a place. So I don't know. I mean, as I say it, I see the struggles with it. Because it wouldn't be a believable environment where you have like these neighboring yards and things like that. Whoops. I did not turn that way. That was like hitting a bump in the ground somewhere. But yeah, the benefit here with this is if I can go kind of at this speed, that's what I was doing, because otherwise you have to cut shorter and you can go around quicker, but then you'd have to cover the yard twice. And I think it would get much more challenging to see, like, where did I cut, say, down to 13 centimeters or something, and then take it down another notch, because it's, you know, in theory I would have to kind of divide it from like 25 or whatever it was. You know, I have to go from 25 to say 7, so that's 18. So it would be like, all right, let's get it, you know, take it down 9, and you know, and go from there. I'm hoping I'm going slow enough that I can take these sharper turns like that, but it may tell me, no, I don't like that. But, yeah, definitely learning how to use the cruise, I think, is helpful, has been helpful. Wow, this is crazy about the blade impact. I mean, I had a brand new blade, and I was, whatever, 6% in, and now I'm already, what is happening? Like, why is it cutting? It's not giving me anything that it can't cut, but that was like it couldn't cut there. I don't get that. Huh. But, yeah, because it would be, you know, 18 plus 7 gets me to 25, so that's kind of my point, is I would be needing to go down 9, and so that would take me to, what, 16, and then I'd go from 16 to 7, kind of in the next pass. So there is some weird graphic things. I don't know how well they come across in the video once it's rendered on YouTube, but the grass, like, gives you this weird view, weird shimmer that makes it really kind of hard to tell with certainty where you're at. Whoops, I think I went too far because I can't see. That actually worked relatively well. Oh, I didn't get around here by the tractor is on that side, so that isn't good. But we'll go ahead, and at this point I'm here, I'm gonna mow. So yeah, I kind of started here but then didn't do that part. So what I think I can do is kind of do a lighter turn and come around from a higher end and come in this way and get most of it. You know, there'd be a little bit I could, woo. That's probably going to be a collision. I didn't really think I was that close, but obviously it was something. Alright, let's see. I'm a little faster now when I reset this. 2.4. I mean, we're definitely getting up there. Because this is where sometimes, yeah, I probably need to... Whoop, 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 whoop. I definitely need to be careful. Goodness. How do I... Alright. I thought I was closer to 2 was my problem. But if I do that, I get to 3. There we go. Alright. Now I'm at like 2.1, 2.2 instead of being at 1.7. Because that's still like at 1.7. I mean, that's like 2%, you know, 10%, 15%. So it's not nothing. But you can see, like, it really cut kind of sloppy in this area here. I don't understand why it did that. Because I'm not... Yeah, that is just so strange there. It's like not working on that area. So I'm not quite sure what I'm seeing happen. Because the rest of this seems to go pretty well. But that other part, not so much. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to get here. And again, you know, get where I can without running into things. Alright, we're at 30%, but this is about when, in theory, I would have to finish the contract to get the bonus. So, as you can see, obviously there is not a bonus that's going to happen. So, I mean, if I could get done by, say, you know, half an hour, I'd be thrilled, but I don't think I'm going to be even that quick. I think it's going to take longer than that. Alright, so we'll go around this way, and then the next time I think I'll come around a little bit of a different way. I might have to touch up this section here. You know, and I might need to run over that one area that is just not cutting well and see, but since I don't have to be at 99.9, and I'm wondering if like Dino Safari or just the newer ones in general are that way. I would hope not, but that might be kind of what their reality is, which would make them more difficult. And so that could help decide, like, do I want to do it? Because the NPC percent at the end that says 50% or 70%, like, my issue is if, let's say, I give Dino Safari to my coworker or my employee that I hire. I guess I shouldn't call him a coworker because I own the company and I'm hiring them and they're working for me. I mean, yes, we work together. We're co-workers that way, but you know, the thing is, like, if it's something that an NPC can only get done 60% of the time, does that mean I'm going to get told, well, they didn't get the full contract amount because they failed 40% of the time? Or I'm just going to be curious how that works. So that's why there's a little bit of me too that wants to get a mower and then hire that worker, and then what I'll probably do is use the other mower myself. The thing I'm not sure I'm going to like about it is the side discharge, because the challenge ends up being the the directions you go. Like here, I can just go around any way I want, and it's fine with the mulching, but with the side discharge, I kind of need to be throwing the grass, I think, into the inside. Otherwise, I'm leaving grass and flower beds and stuff, and we don't have a leaf blower or something to get it out of there. So I think I'm going to be turning the blade on an awful lot. So that's also going to be part of the challenge. But in that regard, I will say, this game has more complexity to it than I expected. And because it's one of the simpler ones, I tend to be doing it more often. because I just feel like it's something I can easily jump into and not have to plan for or think about. Where like bus sim, there's more challenge in operating the bus. Like this is just get going and go, and it's very similar to Farming Simulator in that it's just okay. I'm driving a different kind of field, but in essence that's what I'm doing. And the only difference certainly is like, yeah, I don't have any GPS on my vehicles, so I can't just lock into a line. You know, maybe there's a way to do something where you're not steering, but I'm just not sure that that is even helpful, because none of these yards are big enough that I can do a whole lot of straight passes. Alright, just trying to figure out, because I'm getting to the point certainly where turning in some spaces is just too tight. Well, we're coming up on 50%, so in theory that would put me at 40 to 45 minutes, because I would hope I go a little quicker, because the first 6 or 7 minutes we're walking around with a trimmer. But the question is, can I get to 95.5 without getting off and trimming again at some point? Because that's kind of the challenge. Is there's definitely a good amount that I might not be able to get to with the mower. So that's going to be part of the difficulty of figuring out what really will work. But there we go, we're at 50.8, almost 51 here. So I'm sure that'll happen soon. But now we've gone around the tractor, and we're getting kind of cleaner spaces that way. But on the flip side, once again, just like anything, if you've got ideas on ways that you think it would be more interesting for you to watch or cover these, because obviously, like, I didn't show you Dino Land again. I'm not sure that, lawn mowing, it might be just slightly above watching paint dry in interest. And there's certainly not a lot to talk about here, where in Farming Simulator it was like, well, I can plant this crop, I can do whatever. I mean, we're mowing lawns here, and doing it with different equipment or whatever, so there's a lot less I can chatter about. So it just kind of becomes, you're watching me go around and mow, and I'm just not sure if that's fun to watch or not. I'm trying to make it as fun as I can, and I will say, like, I am still struggling mightily, so I'm going to be curious how this works now that I'm cutting these. So 54.9, like, I haven't gotten back even to 55, because I'm like, I just don't know how much grass is left there when I have those little rows. But at this point, now that I've gotten inside, and I can hear kind of the squishing, which again I think is like maybe there's moisture in this area of the yard, and so it's not cutting as well. But what I was going to say is, like, I'm not hitting a point here where I even went up the 0.1%, so maybe what was left there was not significant enough. And I did find when I was trimming in the Dino Safari, like some of those, when I go around the turn, where it's like, is it cut, is it leaving some, or is it just matting down? It definitely was more matting of the grass than that it was not cutting, is what I started to see. So like all this stuff here, like that's just my wheels affecting the lay of the grass. Because I know there's like striping capability later, so I'm sure we'll get jobs in the future that are like, hey, I want my lawn striped, I want this added service from you, or however that would be explained. Gosh, I just can't see by that tree. Alright, so I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to kind of start doing some rectangles, because now I'm getting down to smaller sections. And I think that's just going to be a cleaner way to do it. Interesting that we overloaded that little bit. So it's just a tiny bit, so it should be okay. Alright, so we'll go around this way. But basically, if I can do these more as rectangles, I think I'm going to have a better chance of like being able to do it without having to go over and over and over things, because to some degree I can give myself a little bit of room to go ahead and say turn around like this and then go on the other side. And obviously once I start getting near the center of the square, that's going to change, but yeah, any feedback on, you know, do this, do, you know, show me a segment, but then, you know, go ahead and, you know, show me 5 minutes of a job, maybe, is what you guys will say, and do some episodes where, you know, maybe what it would make sense for folks is maybe an episode is a week of time, and I just basically show you, say, 5 minutes of a job each day, and, you know, that basically gives me 35 minutes of mowing or working that you see in an episode, but it's, you know, it'd be 7 different jobs. And then, you know, that there's a few minutes here and there if I've got to do something as far as managing the company, where, you know, I buy a new piece of equipment, I hire an employee, I upgrade my headquarters, and then just try to kind of give you the high points of that. So maybe that's what I'll try to do at some point. Because once again, I don't know that I'm going to get that far ahead, but honestly, I might be a month ahead, but that also could mean, like, you know, I just don't do it for a month and I do some other sim or something instead when I feel like doing something other than Farming Simulator, and I want doing one of these 4. Because the other one I can certainly see myself getting into a good amount is Project Hospital. So right now, those are my the ones I've spent the most time in, which to me is kind of what is showing just where my interest is. And Project Hospital to me does seem to have almost an unlimited potential, which is also exciting, because you've got the sandbox mode, there's different kinds of mods that, you know, I have to explore and see what's really out there. See, now why is it not cutting? Like, I went straight over that in the center of my blade, and it just left all that there. So maybe it's grass that can only be appropriately done with a trimmer. I don't know. Wow, I cannot see around that tree, so I'm gonna maybe cut through and then come around. So let me go down here, because once again, I mean, I'm past time no matter what, so it's not as if I'm in danger of losing some bonus, but yeah, I missed that part, and now I can go here, and we can jump back in to something a little bit more appropriate. But we got the area on the other side of the shed done. We're still not at 70%, which is a bit scary, to be honest, but you know, we have what we have. But once again, I'm kind of looking at, can I go and kind of create a rectangle and cut it off and go through there. I just don't want to collide here. Alright, so if I do that and go on this side of the tree, that'll give me a pretty clear cut, or a pretty clear layout. Wow. Again, I am not steering that way, it's just kicking me around the yard. So there's obviously some uneven terrain that's doing some weird things. But here we go, we'll get to 70%. There we are. So you know, one thing that, again, I don't know how I could show it, how I could test it. You know, the one real question I have is, like, if it's taller grass and I'm cutting more, like, is it grass volume that is determined in that percentage, or is it the actual square footage of the yard where it determines you've cut the grass to meet the requirement in X% of the square meters you have? And again, I assume it would be in meters, given that we're here in England running these lawn mowing companies. But going back to what I said, like, if there was some way to create your own lawns, like, that's where you could then start to say, well, I'm mowing in the US, I'm mowing in the UK, I'm mowing in some other countries. And, you know, that would just give a lot of potential variety, and more importantly, some options for something clearer where I'm trying to simulate something where I could really almost turn it much more into a role play, like, hey, here's where I'm at, here's what I'm doing. I mean, to some degree, I think I'm doing that, in that I've got this Lawn Demons company, like, I had to start a company. It almost creates that dynamic to some degree, but I think it would bring it to a different level, because I could have different characters in different countries or something. But the reality probably also comes down to the fact that, you know, this is probably not something that someone in, you know, Africa is hiring out, maybe, you know, because they, depending on where you're at, like, they might not even be mowing a lawn. It might be they're living out in the savannah or something, and if they need to cut grass around their village or something, they're not doing it with an ego mower. So yeah, just not sure. So there's probably a lot of reasons they don't have the ability to do that and generate your own lawns, but they may also feel like there just isn't that desire or need, that people wouldn't be doing that. So alright, I cannot. So I drifted off again. That's what I was trying to avoid doing. But yeah, I think, yeah, I left some over there when I went around the other way. That was part of the challenge. But once again, like, the grass, I think, is just cut a different way in different spots. So there's some there, I think, that I just went over. And then let me grab this little bit here that I missed, and then that should cut things down a bit. And then I think I'll be in a good position here to kind of really do the rectangle. But you know, so this one is drawing a good amount of my time, because it's just a straightforward progression. Like, I only have so much I can pick from each day. I need to move day by day by day, and then when I have enough money to do something, I can make a decision and do it, or do it different ways. You know, again, I've got a few mowers I can buy, but they're far enough in cost that I think that would be a problem. So I did also figure out, I think the other thing I was looking at last episode, or maybe just even a little bit earlier in this one, was like, the next headquarters is 160,000. So my question was, do I have to earn 160,000? And I've determined through just doing some research on the internet that no, people have said it's the difference. So that once I got to, say, $10,000, between my valuation of my current facility and the next one, I'd be able to purchase it. So, like, right now, I think it says my headquarters is worth $154,000. So if somehow my existing headquarters goes up to $160,000 worth, I could just go ahead and basically upgrade at that point automatically without needing any money, which is also why I think it's just not going to do that. It's probably going to cap out maybe even where it's at now, because I've got 2 bays, and I think, again, having the equipment I have in there doesn't matter, because I assume, move the equipment to my new headquarters. I wouldn't just be like, hey, I'm leaving it there or something. But so I don't think the equipment increases the valuation of the business. I think it's just what is going on in the building. And so really the only change I can make in the building was to add another bay, which I've done. And so I'm just wondering then, you know, as that 154,000 what I'm capped at, and I may be. But yeah, I'm a little concerned about the side discharge, I guess, coming up, because I'm just worried that I won't understand how to make that work the best way, and I'll probably be causing myself all kinds of penalties. But I don't know. And that again may become, like, if it's really difficult, maybe after I do the first couple eco jobs, I let that be what the AI worker works with, and then I don't have to worry about that stuff. So it is blinking because our fuel is below half, but you know, we're at 83.5%, so we're not going to run out of fuel before we would hit 100%, or you know, hit near the target. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get this done just by mowing the visible lawn I have, and that I'm not going to have to go chase things around with the trimmer. But if I do, I do. I mean, obviously I got to 5-6% pretty quickly. So the good news is, like, if I'm at 99, I don't feel like, ooh, getting that 0.5% is going to be anywhere near as intimidating as it was in Dino Land, where going up 0.1% would take 5 minutes before you found enough grass to do that. Alright, so 84.5. Got this little bit here. Still 84.5. You know, and then it's just a matter of now running around here. I don't know how much I have and how quickly this is all going to go. I guess I'm a little worried because I don't know that this looks like 15% of the material that I have left, so I think I missed some again. I did. Always fun. But we'll go down there. We'll go here. And we'll see how things will work. So, we've got, alright, a bit of a stripe there. So I'm trusting this is going to be a few tenths of a percent. Which it is, maybe, yeah. We got to 0.8, but not to 0.9, so it wasn't a lot. Now, can I do this? No, it won't let me. So I can only use the control key when I am on foot. Alright, that was the little bit that I knew I had, and I see it behind me now, but I couldn't easily see it in front of me. Alright, 87. Looks like, again, we've got a tuft of grass there. We can come in here, kind of create a bigger arc around here, and then maybe get this piece that I left. So definitely a good amount to go, and it seems to be moving slower now, but these are my kind of my longest passes that I can do are what I have here, so it would seem that that would be the logical thing We'll see if I get to anywhere near 90% by the time I get on the other side of this row. Well, I think I will. That's a good thing, because obviously then I'm one step closer to what I need to be effective and done at that point. But yeah, definitely a bit of a challenge in all of this. So yes, I missed a little bit, I know that. Again, we'll go down this side of the shed because I haven't mowed here. This is all trimming work at this point. So, alright, 92%. Getting very close, but once again, it's going to be a long episode because this 19-minute mow has been more than double that. So that will continue, I think, to be the challenge with this is, you know, I'm going to have hours of things that I'm doing. You know, each kind, you know, I took over an hour and a half to do Dino Land. I'm probably going to be close to an hour by the time I'm done with this. I don't know, maybe it'll finish under 50 minutes, assuming I don't have to get out and trim again. Which I'm feeling a little bit better that maybe that will be the case, because right now, I mean, I'm at 94%. It seems that I'm still doing nice large hunks of progress. Oh, I just hate going that way because it's like entirely blind. But there's not a real great way to do it any other way. See, but that just went from 94.4 to 95, so that only was barely 0.5% down the one side. Now we've kind of separated these pieces apart. I think I'm going to get to 98% pretty easily, but then I'm worried there's going to be a shortage of things after that to get me further along. Because if I still have to find 2%, that's going to be tricky. So again, there's some there that got left. I missed it again. It's literally right next to me. So that's what I don't like, is it's just hard to see the grass and see what you really need to get completed. Alright, so we got 96.8. If we were at 98.6, we'd be healthy because we'd have a good body temperature if we were talking about Fahrenheit. But a little ways away from that yet still. Alright. So now I'm going to go across this way. We'll see where that gets us. But the good news is at least the lawnmowers aren't like obnoxiously loud. So, and I've got an Ego push mower, you know, walk behind, and I didn't get it self-propelled intentionally because the gas mower I had that, and it really couldn't handle the yard the way we have it. Eventually it kind of stopped working. And it was like, you know, the extra weight of what you need to do that sometimes isn't worth all that cost and so forth, because you'd need more batteries and things like that to be able to make it self-propelled, because there was definitely a self-propelled version of it, but I think it was at least 100 more. It might have been 200 more. So I'm also wondering, since I replaced the blades, will I have 2 blades now? And will I be able to interchange them? Alright, now we're at 98.6, so we now got to normal body temperature, which you can see in theory this is all I've got left. So it's a little concerning because I don't think that this is going to get me to 99.5. Like, yeah, there's not much here, so you know, I think it'll get close, but oh, wow, that didn't even get to 99.1, so maybe it won't be as close as I was hoping. Because at this point, yeah, that's those are not good things. Alright, the question is, do I have segments that aren't done somewhere? Doesn't look like it. I mean, there's a little bit here. So again, I think I can find dribs and drabs of stuff. But I think at this point, yeah, I do need to just go and park this and then come out here with the trimmer and start doing the professional, or the ProView. I think it's called ProView. Oh, alright, so I can see a little bit there. And again, every little bit helps. Like, this should definitely, I would think, be a 0.1%. Well, maybe not. So let's see. So, and I assume I can just put this in the trailer anyway I want. So I'm going to go ahead and fuel in case I determine I do need to go back in there. But yeah, I'm wondering if I get the other cutting blades back. Alright, so let's see. So like now if I do this, so you can see, there you go. So I've got some around here. Right, and then this is where I think again we'll get segments that just I didn't realize were not done. So now let's see and make sure. Well, I didn't get it all, but now you can see, like, this is the challenge now, is just trying to figure out where there is some stuff. So it looks like there's a good amount here. So maybe that will be enough to move up a bit. It doesn't look like it yet. Wait, how did that not trim? I don't understand. Alright. See, but it's like, how are pieces like this missing? Alright, well, we got to 99.3. But yes, then I'm just constantly like chasing segments here. So like that. Whoa. I don't understand how that wasn't done, but okay. It's like if you're not fully down, it just doesn't give you credit, is the best I can tell. Alright, see, like those are not, oh, see, that's a perfect example. Like, look at all that grass over there. So this should absolutely, I think, get me then. I just need to figure out what I haven't done here. So, let me look. Alright, I got most of it, but not all of it. And then, you know, the hope is that, like, this stuff I can cut and be done. Alright, so let's see. Holy moly. So I'm looking for that thing to suddenly pop and tell me that I'm done. So let's see, what have we got? Couple different areas over here. Quite a bit to get cut up here. I do not understand. What do I need to do for it to cut? Alright, so it looks like maybe by the shed here. And I would think that that's going to be enough to get me completed, but maybe not. There we go. Leave location. So it is enough. So we'll head back and we'll go see what is happening. Whoops, I need to put this in here. Alright. Alright, so 506. Good news is we just had 53 cents of collisions, so that did definitely help. And then, you know, but got 506 because I spent $55 in vehicle maintenance. So we're up to 33. We're in credible rank 5. We're going to have to get 483, and then we get to established rank, which sounds significant. Alright, Millerbrook, Adams Apple, 56 Colville. So a lot of general cuts, which is always good. So I definitely need that. So let me go in here, let me do maintenance. So full repair, engine, full repair, blades, full repair. But see, it's not showing me that I have anything else. But the real question is, can I now get my ego? No, I cannot. 4,200. Somehow I thought it was 3,000. Darn. Alright. Because, yeah, I don't think it makes any sense. I'm like really wanting to get the employee. Like, wow, we've got 5 applicants. Oh, and there's people that are proficient. A journeyman, which is probably even better. Oh no, a journeyman. Okay, so proficient might be the best. So yeah, and I wonder, like I have 5, that might be the most I can do. But see, at this point, you can see my values 154, 530. The next one's at 160. And so, you know, then basically I can go up from there once I get 6,000. But I think I want to go ahead and get, you know, the other material there. So hold on, let me recharge. So what is that? Oh, I see. So I assume we can't, it says, you know, it gave me the part exchange. So I assume we can't do anything differently. You know, again, I can apply for different loans. Like right now I'm not at established, but I could get a $10,000 loan. And then I could do things. God, do I want to do that and then go up? Because the thing is here, it's 13,000. Because the interest rate doesn't change that much. So let's see, because that would get me, so let's do this. We're going to confirm that. So can I get, oh, you can get, so you can keep getting more. Interesting. So it just would be like, how crazy do I want to get? But now the real question is, do I go all the way up to this eco that is a mulcher? Because I will tell you, that is very, so let's see, a rear discharge deck. This vehicle is equipped with a side discharge. That means you can cut with it. Grass clippings are discharged. Piles of grass clippings will be left behind the vehicle as you drive that can then be recut to reduce them or picked up. Okay. Alright, so these just are bigger than what we have. So the question too is this... So none of these are 0 turn. Now there's a 0 turn for this though. So it would seem to me, I'm just nervous about the side discharge because I think, again, we've got to go clean things up, where I think most people would like a mulcher, because that's usually what we get, is a collector or mulcher is needed. Just hard to... And this would be just another night. Right, so if I do that, and I buy that, now I have both of those. So I have an OFE22 and an OFS21, and then I can go ahead and hire one of these people. So they really like engines, can't be reasoned with, can't be bargained with, hates being abducted by aliens. Well, that's probably a good trait to have, and can type faster than everyone they know. That's funny. And this one loves anything from Japan, can sleep whenever they want, hates mainstream media, wrote and directed a play. So Evie sounds a little bit more normal than Amelia, and I'm guessing these things don't really impact anything, but I'm going to go ahead and hire them. So there we go. Alright, teamwork makes the dream work. And so at this point, now if I go here, like, yeah, I'm really close, I think, because that I'm probably like $20 short. But now you can see we've got two of us. So next time we will have something interesting to get into then, I would imagine. Let's see. You don't have enough strimmers. Strimmers are required. Oh, I see. So let's see. For employees to attempt cutting contracts. How many strimmers do we need? I don't understand. Oh, for all of your employees. I see. So now let's see what we have here. Okay, so there's really only like 3 or 4 total options. Interesting. I didn't realize that. So that one's 41. It's also battery. Are they all eco? Oh, I see. The night one is not. Oh, I see. With extended cutting, so it's just longer time. It's a bigger battery capacity, but I don't know that that's worth it. So let me go ahead and do that. Anyway, we'll worry about that in the future, in the next time, but we've made some great progress now. Now we've taken out a loan, so we're going to have that hanging over our heads, but I'm excited to take that step, because now we can see what we have outstanding, but basically weekly we're going to pay $1,350. Let's get out of this, because this has been long enough. I mean, at this point it's going to be over an hour, given that it took me 40-some minutes to cut that yard. I was hoping I was really going to be able to do it in close to the 20, but that didn't happen. But if my hope is, now that we can do 2 contracts each time, I can upgrade, I can eventually get 3 machines, and and once we're moving, like, we might be able to upgrade equipment pretty quickly and then really have the proper equipment for what we need to do. But we're going to deal with that next time and get going. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please drop a like. Once again, give me feedback on what would make this interesting, how it might be more entertaining for folks. What's a good way to show this? But right now I'll probably for sure just be doing a couple more episodes at least where I'm just working, but if they start to get too difficult or too long, I may start just showing pieces. I'm just not sure. So give me some feedback. I'll see you next time.